Well, it looks like I'm live on Zoom anyway. And now to pull you guys up over here to see if I'm live on YouTube. Okay, there's something weird happening again, of course. So I guess I'm going to have to use my phone. Bear with me, you guys. I have a really, really, really old tablet, and it doesn't always. There we go. Now, can I see the live chat? Use my phone. Bear with me, you guys. Okay, there we go. All right. Well, my name is Sheila Corona. Welcome to Sassy Seer Sheila. Today is Thursday, September the 7th, 2023. And yeah, there we go. All right. So I haven't been on a lot. I'm in the middle of a fast, and it's been a little difficult, I mean, I don't eat all that much anyway because I had a gastric bypass in 1999, but and today I feel a whole lot better than I did yesterday at this time of day. But there's been so many synchronicities, so many really cool happenings for me. A friend that lives on the West Coast has shared some really cool things that have taken place between her and I. Well, she doesn't live on the West Coast. She travels all over, but she's currently on the West, not the coast, but out West, quite a bit away from here. And the things that are taking place, I just can't unsee. Those of you that have been listening to my recordings of this book are just what's been happening for me for the last few weeks is phenomenal. And I don't know if I would love to hear in the comments how many of you are having these sorts of interactions with just your environment. It seems to me that the more focus and attention that I place internally inside and just pay attention to the signs and synchronicities when I ask questions, or there's just so much going on around me that I can't unsee. And Lisa and I were talking this morning, and I said, I know I shouldn't be flabbergasted because it's been happening so much, so often, but I still am. It's so much fun, and it's so, so wild that, when you, a lot of people would say, oh, that's coincidence, or, oh, that's nothing. But when it happens time and time and time and time again, I mean, I don't know. There's no way around it for me. And it feels as though it's just happening more and more. And so I wanted to share that with you guys. And I also wanted to say that tomorrow is the first meeting of our book study group for this book. And we're going to start from the beginning, and we're going to read it together and just stop and have conversation about what we're reading as we go. So it is beginning tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern. If you wish to attend at this point, if you have not reached out, you really do need to reach out. Conscious Conversation Central at gmail.com, and just put book club in the subject line, and I will know that you want to join us for this one. I also received a little bit more information about this series of channelings. As I suspected from what I was reading here, this book was published in 2018. The channelings, however, have been around for way, way longer. What was suggested to me was at least 20 years, perhaps, because the being that I spoke to yesterday, I don't have permission to say who, but the being that I spoke to yesterday, who made all of us aware of these, had them in printed email form, I believe is what I was told, and then graduated to getting the individual books as they were put out. So much about what is being talked about in these channelings is happening right now. And so, again, I can't unsee what has happened for me in terms of how it was presented to me, how I was nudged to buy the book, but not nudged to start recording it until just recently. We got card number 24, Resplendent with Grace, from the Rumi Oracle this morning. So, like I said, now part of the reason, and I think I said this in one of my other lives, part of the reason that I haven't been back here as much, first of all, not everybody from Corona Rising has found Sassy Seer Sheila. And I get it. I don't tell people because I always feel like if they're truly drawn, then they will find me. It's not that hard to find me, obviously, because 25 of you have, right? And I've not notified anybody really. I mean, I did a Facebook Live and I put it on my Facebook, but that's pretty much it, right? Because I've always felt strongly that it needs to be a magnetic draw, right? You got to want to have this information. You got to be seeking this information about yourself, really. That's what it is. I'm not trying to tell anybody how to do anything at all. I'm sharing what I've been doing, what works for me, which may not work for you. That's the one thing that I know from all of this now, is that we are completely unique individuals. That's the whole point of the one pinpoint laser focusing itself into physicality to have completely separate experiences. And the only way to do that is to do it through us. And so because everyone has set up, I feel has set up, this one today, different experiences they wish to have in this particular go round. What will work to awaken one will not work to awaken another. And the other thing is, we're not meant to awaken each other. Not in the way that my time spent in the truther communities feels, right? Like if you only knew the truth, you would see it differently. But that's not that hasn't held true. And I can tell you from my own personal experience, people can see with their own eyes. Things change. Things happen, and still not believe it. When I first took my health back into my own hands, the sole thing I did was change the type of water and the amount of water that I was drinking. That was all I did at first. And then I started, because I got so much better, I had to find out why. I had to. Why is simply drinking enough water every day helping me with all these things that I was told was going to end me up in a motorized wheelchair? Why is that? So I did a lot of, research and found out that we're supposed to have half our body weight in ounces every single day. And the minute you tell somebody when they ask, well, what in the hell did you do to turn your health around? Drink the appropriate amount of water. Well, how much is that? Half your body weight in ounces. And as soon as they figure that out, because if you're 200 pounds, like I was, well, am still, I'm 199, that's 100 ounces a day. That's damn near a gallon. And when people learn at 200 pounds that, oh, I could never drink a gallon of water a day. Okay. And that's your right. I mean, so people, and they saw what happened with me, moving from a wheelchair to a cane to not needing a cane. I mean, this is very real stuff. So I was guided to grab the surrender deck as well. As I know, I have lots of surrendering still to do. And it came up with surrender unhealthy relationships. Now, for me, relationships are everything. It's not just your loved one. It can be your relationship with food, your relationship with your phone, your relationship with your TV. It could be anything, right? And it says here, let go of relationships that don't serve you, including unavailable or toxic people. You deserve to be treasured by others and to be surrounded by positive people. And I feel that's a true statement, by the way. And like I said, I have had unhealthy relationships with things as well as people. And so seeing how I believe Venus just stationed direct, but Venus, which is the planet of relationships, finances, beauty, right? The ruler of Libra. I'm sure a lot of us have been checking in, whether we know it or not, with ourselves in regards to our relationships with different things, which is, again, one of the reasons why I finally initiated my fast, because I've been being asked to fast for quite some time and I haven't done it. So fast, detox, the whole 9 yards, right? So the card that came up from the Rumi Oracle was Resplendent with Grace. And I just love this card. It's actually, I'm going to be honest with you, it's actually depicting how I have been feeling over the last, I don't know, a couple of months, actually. It's just been, I've described it as being here, but not being here. I'm having experiences where, well, just recently, I know I felt my body dying in another realm. I don't know how else to say it. I've also had glimpses of some sort of battle that I am participating in some other realm, or was at that time. So this really, for me, depicts what I've been moving through in the last little bit here, and really in many ways still am. So the card is number 24. Numerologically, that's a 6, which is all about balance, harmony, and love. And it begins here from the book, Greetings from my heart to you who are always with me, hidden inside as the heart, You are the compass of my life. My course is your way, no matter where I go. You exist everywhere and in everything, always watching over us. My soul brightens in the darkness when I speak your name. Far beyond the body, there is an opening from my heart into yours. Through that opening, I send you secret messages like the moonlight. I polish the mirror of my heart to be your reflection. I make my ear the receiver for the tenderness of your words. You are in the ear. You are in the mind. You are in every burning heart. What am I saying? You are I. This is the way to describe you. Rumi. Wow, I just love that. Your divine grace clothes me in robes of sky blue and blood red, as a shimmering galaxy of compassion within the field of which no being is excluded. The darkness of night is illuminated, and all creatures are bathed in fine golden hue of your presence. There is only beauty beheld now, for there is nothing that is not of your artistry, of your divine hand, generous with its grace. Is it difficult to see your magnificence? Without a mirror the size of the galaxy, how could you possibly witness all that you are? You must just catch glimpses of your truth now and then. Wow, that's really makes me think of what I just shared with you about feeling myself in other realms. Glimpses of your truth now and then. Oh, if you could just see yourself as I see you in all your glorious fullness of being. You are swathed in robes of grace, so light and freeing that they do not weigh you down, and yet so luscious and full that you cannot help but stir the movement of all creation as you step this way and that. Of course, it matters not to grace whether you see or do not see, for grace simply is, without witnessing being required. Yet you might live rather differently, my beloved, should you realize you are not only worthy of grace, but actually dripping with it. Saturated with divine presence so rich it leaks out of you and causes sunlight to pool at your holy feet. Oh yes, you are resplendent in holiness and sanctity. Should you come to know this, as I do, you would take each step with awe and reverence. You would decide that not a thing in your world could be classed as mundane, and decide with bold fervor that you are living in godliness and must create your world through choices that honor love. No fear, even the most stubbornly persistent, would be able to withstand the sight of your magnificent beating heart, so wild with life. In the sight of that wild heart, you would have to call all your fears close to you, soothing them with your words of love like riled children in need of tenderness and quiet. Then, when rested, you would wake them from their slumber, and they would arise as falcons, ready to soar to the height of your most daring visions. Hunting for life to feed them, they will ensure the ample grace pulsing within your heart has its chance to come to life in the world and serve love. This oracle comes to you with a message. You may be wondering if you can attain this next stage of growth in your life. No, that's a true statement for me, because of everything that I've been moving through, and whether or not I am, I don't know, physically capable. We'll just say it like that. We'll see. I think I am, and I'm moving forward as if I am. So we'll see. You are already well equipped to do so, no matter what you might believe about the situation, circumstances, or others involved, even yourself. You have within your sole possession more than enough grace to see you through anything you are bold enough to envision for yourself, or for any vision you feel life has bestowed upon you. So pray through unconditional love to access all that you are, to be supported by those beings that love you without condition. Pray to realize that you are so drenched in sacred grace that the well of your being is full. All that is needed to nurture you onto the next step of your life path is within you now. Success is yours, but you must believe in your ability, your readiness, and your capacity to take this next phase of the journey now. How could it be otherwise? For you are one with grace. Wow. Well, I know this is going to be a relatively short one for me, but I have a lot going on today. We have Lisa's 5th workshop will be coming up today, and I also, like I said, tomorrow is the first day of book club. If you're interested in joining that, there's no fee for anything like that. And as a matter of fact, I don't engage in commerce. And I see Ilias. You said, what do you see coming for you this month? This is really just a general. And I do private readings, but I don't exchange money for that. So if that's something that you are interested in, but understand that I read differently than most readers. And so if you're interested in that, you can email me at consciousconversationscentral@gmail.com. Like I said, I don't charge. Everything is on a love offering basis, because here's the deal for me. If one is truly seeking their inner, I've had beings help me seek my inner, and that's what this is all about. That's how I started this for myself with tarot. Tarot is a divination tool to get in touch with your own self. It's a tool for focus and attention. That's really it. I have been wowed by the more I practice it, the more in tune with me I get, which allows me to become more in tune with others. And so, if that's something that you would like, you can hit me up there. I do sometimes, because I don't recognize your name, I do sometimes do live hangout sessions. So if you are interested in that, you can subscribe to the channel. And I just never know whenever I move to do a live hangout session, I just go live. So you would need to actually, hit because none of this is about money for me, by the way. I don't do anything with money. The channels, this is my 3rd channel. So it's a wholly different thing for me. It's all about learning about me and sharing my journey out loud. Because we are all on this same path, just with different expressions, different unique wants, desires, and needs based on what the soul wished to experience is how I hold it. So I hope this has been helpful for those of you that are tuning in now and or later. And like I said, I'm really excited to get started on this. If you're not interested in joining the book club, I highly recommend at least listening to the videos that I've done on this book. This is 3 books in one. I've already completed volume 1. I am right now recording in volume 2. They are on 2 different playlists. Handbook for the New Paradigm Volume 1 is on one playlist all by itself. And then the second book, which is called, is it Embracing the Rainbow? Yeah, Embracing the Rainbow, which is volume 2, is in its own playlist. And so thank you guys for tuning in. And love to my friends in Florida who are really going through it. You know who you are. And I love you so much. And I wish I could be there to help you with everything you're moving through. Believe me, I know. I lived in Charleston during Hurricane Hugo. So we spent a total of 3 months without water and power at that time. So I know what you're going through. And I had to work every single day of those 3 months. So that was really fun. And I had a small child. School was closed. So that was very interesting. I love you guys. Till next time, please do continue to move towards that which brings you joy in each moment that presents itself. Because honestly, it's just a matter of your perspective. If you slow down for a second, pull yourself up out of the river of what's rushing around you onto a rock, survey all that you can, and you will probably find that with just a slight shift in your perspective, that you will find another way that is more joyful than what you originally thought. So, till next time, be well, my friends.